Hello and welcome to Follow Everton on the back of yet another win at Goodison Park. Who would have thought it? Back-to-back wins at Goodison Park against Newcastle and Chelsea. And to be honest, we've absolutely smashed both of them. I don't know if you would have thought it. Probably, I don't know if I did, to be fair. But what a decision. What a result. 2-0, Everton 2, Chelsea 0 at Goodison Park. Fantastic Sunday evening. We're going to get into it all. I've made some notes as the game went on. I couldn't be there at the game myself today, but some of the Follow Everton team certainly did attend Goodison Park. But what a result. What a feeling on the back of it. Out of the relegation zone once again. This weekend, a couple of results. Not that went against us, but teams at the bottom of the league picked up points. Sheffield United, Bournemouth, Luton almost beating Manchester City today. Just puts a bit more pressure on Everton now just to go out and get a result. And not just get a result, but we've gone at home and won two of the, I think, most difficult fixtures you can get in the Premier League. A Newcastle side, full of energy, full of intensity. And once again, Chelsea, with the pace that they've got with Mudryk, a real danger on the counter-attack. And we've absolutely just smashed both of them. We've rode the wave. We've played well in parts, defended well during the game. 2 clean sheets, fantastic results. And what a 3 points. What a 3 points for Everton. We are now, don't want to say riding high in the Premier League, but considering we should have 10 extra points right now, we would be riding high. We'd have 23 points right now and we'll be in the top half of the table. As it is, we are 16 games played, 13 points in the Premier League, sitting in 17th place, 4 points above Luton, who are in 18th. So we'll get onto the game. Keep your comments coming in. I want everyone to like this video. Please do follow Everton if you haven't done already on the socials and YouTube, and make sure you ring the notification bell so when we go live, and we are often live during our streams, you are notified. We're going to get through as many of your comments as we possibly can. I mean, just what a feeling it was so far. Going into the game, I was a little bit nervous. Chelsea, like I say, probably haven't been in the greatest form. We know that. Got beat by Manchester United at the weekend, in midweek. But they wanted to bounce back with a win. They wanted to come here and show that they're capable of beating teams such as Everton. But we've turned them over. And given Chelsea's threats, I think Mudryk's a really good player. He's got fantastic pace. He's raw. He's green. He will get better over time. But I was quite nervous with them being on that left-hand side against Ashley Young. Ashley Young obviously started the game, didn't last the entire game, came off around 40 minutes. But in the early part of the game, you saw Mudryk really getting down that left-hand side, getting past Ashley Young on a number of occasions. And I think just, if he would have stayed on the pitch, Ashley Young, would Mudryk have got more success down that left-hand side? Would they have perhaps got a goal? We don't know. I like Chris's comment that Martin being the channel host is Everton's good luck charm. Let's hope it is. I'll stick around for as long as we're winning. So if it is, I'm all in for it. You never know, we might get some calls as we go. First and foremost, I want everyone to follow me on the social media. My name is Martin. I'm at @RestrictedEFC. If you've not seen me before, I'm quite new to Follow Everton. But keep your comments coming in. I'm going to be working through many of them. First and foremost, let's just say the goal scorers, Decore and Lewis Dobbin. Absolutely delighted for both of them. Decore, once again, just showing what an unbelievable form he's in and what an unbelievable player he is under Sean Dyche. Playing in that number 10, like a support striker role. He's really supporting whoever's up front, Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Beto. And he's just there at the right time, the right moment, like he was against Newcastle. And I saw a stat earlier on that he's scored the most goals from being a midfielder since Sean Dyche took charge of Everton. Well, that's across the Premier League. Out of all the midfielders in the Premier League, Decore's joint top goal scorer from all midfielders. You know what? It feels like Everton right now. Of course, since the point deduction, we are 4 games in since the point deduction. We lost against Manchester United. We had our chances, and it was somewhat down to a wonder goal. But since then, away at Forest, won. Home at Newcastle, won. Home against Chelsea, won. 3 wins back to back to back. Home wins at Goodison back to back against 2 really difficult opposition teams. Not only that, 2 clean sheets. Fantastic. Against the threat of Newcastle and Chelsea. 2 clean sheets. I'm absolutely delighted. Talk about Dobbin. Dobbin, a young lad coming through the ranks. We all want him to have a chance. Sean Dyche has been really patient with Lewis Dobbin. He's given him a chance during pre-season. He's given him a glimpse of some games here and there, coming on as a substitute. But he's had to take his time. He's had to be patient. He played in the under-21s in the last game, and he put in a really good performance, scoring a good goal from outside the box. Probably why he got his chance. If you shine at an under-21 stage, Sean Dyche has just go, okay, well, you know what? You deserve a chance. Even if it's just 5 minutes at the end of the game, go on, see what you can do. Lewis Dobbin came on towards the end of the game, scored. It came off with Jack Harrison and scored, which was from a corner, but the corner came in from Dwight McNeil. It broke to the edge of the box, and Lewis Dobbins absolutely smashed it in to the back of the net. Really good finish, and you could see in him in the celebration, he just ran away like he was just absolutely made up. He really, really happy to get the goal. And the whole team, we'll go through the team one by one. And see exactly the performances that we've put in. To be honest, there's some fantastic performances today. We'll go with first the goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford. Pickers didn't have a lot to do, did he? But I thought what he done well. I'm not going to rate each player, but if you could give Pickford a 6, 7 out of 10, I don't think it would be out of place. Right back, Ashley Young. So this is where it gets interesting. Ashley Young at the beginning of the game, there was, in the first 5 minutes, I noted down, there was twice that Mudryk got in and behind Ashley Young. Then I was nervous. I was thinking, if this is going to be the full 90 minutes of Mudryk absolutely terrorising Ashley Young, we're in for a long afternoon. He sort of recovered a little bit well. He wanted more protection on that right-hand side from Jack Harrison, and he wanted Tarkowski to go over and protect him as well. The midfield too, he wanted some support in dealing with Mudryk. As it is, he went off injured after about 40 minutes. Ashley Young, I'm not too sure on the severity of the injury or what the issue was, but he went off and Nathan Patterson came on. Evertonians have been crying out for Nathan Patterson to get a run on the side, give him a chance. I thought he'd done really well when he came on. Okay, he didn't do anything out of the ordinary, but he was solid. He defended well. He got forward when he could. I think he's still got a bit to do when he does go forward. But in my opinion, Nathan Patterson came on and actually done really well. And fair play. If Ashley Young is going to be out the side now, we know Seamus Coleman's got a knock, then fair play. Nathan Patterson stays in. Coming to the two central defenders, we've got Tarkowski and Branthwaite. Again, absolutely immense, especially Branthwaite. Branthwaite was almost everywhere during this match. He really dealt with Brozier well in the first half. Again, as a pairing, Tarkowski and Branthwaite, they really are pairing up well. When the ball goes over, one's blocking the striker off, such as Brozier. The other exactly knows what's happening. They cover around, they defend well. It looks like fantastic communication between the two. If Tarkowski does make a mistake, Branthwaite is there to back him up, and vice versa. There was a cross that went in. I'm trying to think who remember. Was it in the first half? It was in the first half, around 37 minutes. Mudryk went past Young, crossed, and Brozier was there to flick it in almost. This is when Branthwaite almost picked up a bit of an injury in the first half as well. But there he was, Branthwaite, right across, covering, putting pressure on Brozier, and Brozier couldn't flick it into the back of the net. Really a solid centre-back pairing. And as the game on, balls went in the box, they were heading them away. It was a fantastic performance. At left-back, Mykolenko. Now, Vitaly Mykolenko was a bit of a Marmite player for a little while. You either loved him, you hated him, you pretty much loved him, hated him. But he's come on this season. He seems to have found a new gear. Maybe under Sean Dyche, maybe he has said, okay, Mykolenko, I'm going to give you a run. I'm going to give you a bit of faith. Show me what you can do. And under the guidance of Sean Dyche, we know he's a manager who loves structure. He loves to be sat in that back four, two banks of four, if you will, and just protect and be narrow. But Mykolenko, I think we're seeing the best Mykolenko we've ever seen right now. He was immense. He was tackling. He dealt fantastically well with anybody who was on, whether it be Sterling in the second half or the wingers in the first. he just played really, really well. He was also getting forward. He has a few shots. He scored a few goals recently. He had a chance here today, and he fell on his right foot from on the edge of the box, and he put it high and wide. But overall game for Mykolenko today was really, really positive. And it's almost a position now where you look at it, I don't know if we need a new left back, because I always thought we need a new left back. We need to have a real good backup to Mykolenko, or somebody who can replace him. Now, I'm not sure. Who do we go out and replace Mykolenko with? I'm not sure that many people are out there, that especially that we can afford, that's going to come in straight into the team and replace Mykolenko. I'm not having it. So Mykolenko, for me, stays. And what a back five that is. Pickford, Nathan Patterson came in did really well today. Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mykolenko. The back five played absolutely fantastically well. Fair play to them, and I'll have a drink to you defenders today. Do me a favour, everyone, smash the like button as well. I'm on my own today. There won't be anybody joining me, so I'm here solo. I need all your comments. Keep your comments coming in. I'm going to go through them all, and we'll have a good chat about it. Dave Mack saying, surely Pato's now convinced Dicey should be starting. Came on cold against one of the best wingers in the Prem and played a blinder. Couldn't agree more, mate. I thought he came on. It's really difficult to come in on a Premier League game. You see people all the time just not quite be up to the standard. But he come in straight away. And he got to the pace of the game. There was no last-minute challenges or slightly catching someone and letting them get away from him. He came in, he was solid, and he'd done his job. Fair play, Nathan Patterson. And you know what, with Seamus Coleman being out now for a while, it just means we've got a solid right back who we can depend on. We always thought he had maybe a mistake in him, Pato, but I'm just made up. He's come in because he wants to do well. The lad, he's a young lad. He's come in for the big fee, and he wants to do well. And I think if we just give him a bit of faith, a bit of a run in the side, he can definitely stake his claim to be Everton's right back now and for the future. He's done fantastically well against Mudryk. I've already mentioned it. Mudryk's a really, really tricky player. He can go past people. He's got fantastic pace. Maybe needs a little bit of work on his end product. You know, he was getting past Young in the first half, putting the ball into the box. Nobody could just get on the end of it. Maybe the pass wasn't in the right place. But let's give credit where credit's due. Let's focus on Everton because the back five were amazing today. Getting on to Idrissa Gana Gueye. I thought Gana Gueye struggled in the first half. You know, he picked up a yellow card around... when was it? 15 minutes in, Gana Gueye got booked. And it also means he misses the next game against Burnley. So almost at that 15-minute mark, I saw a massive change in Ghana. I thought the midfield really struggled in the first half. Ghana and Ghana, Idrissa Gana Gueye and James Garner in that midfield. I think they were getting outnumbered. I think they were getting out-battled. You know, Enzo in that midfield, Conor Gallagher, Casido, they were really causing a lot of problems for our midfield too. And Idrissa Gana Gueye just looked off it. You know, he was getting on the ball. He couldn't quite win the ball back in midfield with like he normally does. I thought he was getting swamped in the middle. And Sean Dyche made the decision to change it at half-time. Whether that was because of the booking that Gana Gueye picked up, or whether he just saw that he was getting swamped in that midfield and he wasn't quite up to speed, I'm not too sure, but fair play to Sean Dyche. Whatever the reason was, he brought him off because he brought Onana on. And Onana today, I thought in the second half was fantastic. Onana came in with a little bit more composure in the middle, a little bit more upper body strength, and he was holding players off really well. And he might go under the radar today, as Chris said, but he was fantastic today, Onana. So fair play for Onana coming off the bench at half-time. Once again, difficult to get up to speed straight away, but he's done a really fantastic job. Fair play, Onana. Alongside Onana, of course, we've got James Garner. Now, James Garner, we've spoke about him in previous shows, but he had a sickness in midweek. He couldn't play against Newcastle. He had a vomiting bug. I know when I've had a vomiting bug, you know, I like to stay in bed for 7 days because I just love staying in bed. But James Garner has got up, got himself, dusted himself down, got back on the training pitch. Doesn't look like anything's up with him, and he's okay. It's a 24-hour bug, but it's still difficult coming back in. You may feel a little bit weaker, but he's come back in and he's absolutely played fantastically well. Especially in the second half. I think second half you could see James Garner playing his James Garner normal way, normal style. He was across the pitch, he was throwing himself into tackles, he was getting the ball and spreading it out wide. Another really good performance from James Garner. I can't see an Everton midfield without James Garner in it in the centre right now. At the start of the season, we started off with just Garner Gay, Onana, Decore, and it just wasn't quite clicking for whatever reason. James Garner's come in, and he's just gelled in that position so well. And to be fair, James Garner is one of the first names on the team sheet right now, especially in midfield. Well played, James Garner. Peter Duggan thinks Garner was average today, but it's better than not looking good at all. Fair play. If you think he looked, I thought he looked quiet in the first half. I'll give you that. But for the second half, I actually thought he came on quite well. Then we get to the wing. No, Decore. Decore, once again, absolutely fantastic. Not only was he scoring a goal, got us off to a fantastic start, he was throwing tackles in left, right and centre. He was everywhere today. Again, especially in the second half. Decore's really becoming a leader in the Everton team right now. There's times where we're up against it and Chelsea had a lot of possession, and the player I thought the most who would go out and do something like make that challenge or close that person down and try and really get into them was Decore. And I see Decore now, putting his shoulders wide and saying, you know what, I'm a leader in this team. I'm not too sure if he's a future Everton captain because we've got fantastic captains in the team, but he feels like a captain on the pitch without the armband. Decore, and I think Decore is getting this connection with the fans as well. You see him on social media, you see him after the game going up to the Everton fans. I think Decore is becoming a really special player at Everton. And how was it possible that he wasn't even in the team at some point? Under Frank Lampard, he wasn't in the team. Let's just think back for a second. What happened between Frank Lampard and Decore? We know there was a falling out at some stage, but I can't believe Frank Lampard didn't see what Sean Dyche has seen. And to be fair, maybe all the credit has to go on to Sean Dyche because he's brought him in from the cold. He's put faith in him. He's put him back in the team, and we're reaping the rewards. Like I say, since Sean Dyche has taken over, Decore is the joint highest top goal scorer from all midfielders in the Premier League. And he's playing a sort of a shadow striker, maybe a number 10 role. Again, one of the first names on the team sheet. And Decore has not only commits himself to the Everton team, he said he's not going out to the African Cup of Nations as well. He wants to stay and play for Everton and commit himself to Everton. Decore, hats off to you lads, because you know what? Coming up with goals when they're much needed in the game. He had a similar one against the goal he scored against Newcastle. He obviously had a similar one against Manchester United and he put it wide. So maybe he put that to bed, scoring against Newcastle. But today, the way he took his goal, the first goal came about. Dwight McNeil on the left-hand side put a through ball into Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Probably should have scored, to be honest with you. Let's just say it how it is. One-on-one with the goalkeeper, hits it. You can say it was a good save. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin should have scored. Dominic Calvert-Lewin got a bit of a clatter in as well as he goes in, but the ball broke free over to the right-hand side, and Decore was there once again, missed the right place in the right time, and he smashed it home. To be fair, he put his laces through it, and there was players on the line, so it wasn't a given he was going to score that. But he smashed the ball, and he's really becoming, like I say, a major player for Everton. Well played, Decore, today. Moving on to the right-hand side, Jack Harrison. I love that. Mr. Blue Sky says Decore must have had 5 cans of Red Bull before the game. He never stopped. I thought it was Decore's best game this season. Fantastic. I really like Decore as well. During times of his faith where he is fasting, how a player can fast and play game after game as well during that period of Ramadan is absolutely fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. I don't know how I would cope doing that. But being a person that committed to the cause, I think he's an absolutely fantastic player. We're lucky to have him, and I'm absolutely made up. He signed a contract extension recently to stay at Everton longer than he was already planned to do. On to Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison on the right-hand side. Now, I've been a little bit critical about Jack Harrison. I've said maybe he doesn't do enough in games. He works hard. He runs up and down the line. He gets back and supports. But maybe, it just quite isn't linking up for Jack Harrison. Today, again, another game of massive commitment, massive effort. Fantastic performance from Jack Harrison. Again, probably didn't do anything massively well, but just done the basics right and kept doing the basics right. I couldn't really have a gripe with Jack Harrison today. Not that I want to, but just sometimes I just thought it wasn't quite all there with Jack. But fair play to him today. Another strong performance, and he seems to have the legs. I thought early on the season he was lacking a little bit of that sharpness and fitness, but he was out a while, so that's understandable. Last game as a number 10 against Newcastle, he done really well. He ran all over the pitch, and made up. He came in today and put another strong performance in, this time coming in off the right-hand side. He is a bit of an up-and-down player, as Peter Duggan says on the comments. He's a hard worker, but you know what? He can go, and he can put his effort in, and Sean Dyche absolutely loves that. He's a Sean Dyche player. If I've ever seen a Sean Dyche player, it's Jack Harrison, and that's not a bad thing. On to the left-hand side, Dwight McNeil. Now, get your comments in about Dwight McNeil on the today for Everton. I want to know how you thought he played. I've personally got my own opinions. He obviously put the through ball in for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, which then led on to the goal. He crossed the corner in, which ended up being a goal again for Lewis Dobbin towards the end of the game. But what do we think of Dwight McNeil today? Was you happy with his efforts? I personally thought it was a typical Dwight McNeil performance. He works hard. He runs again up the line. He's attacking 1 minute. He's almost box to box. He's attacking. He's defending. He's picking up balls. From duels in the middle of the park, and he's always, as soon as he gets on the ball, he always just looks forward, and he always wants to play that ball forward, and that's what I love about Dwight McNeil. We've had times in the past where we've had wingers where they've got the ball and they've been too happy to pass back. Maybe Theo Walcott, during his latter stages, he never wants to beat a player. He never wants to play a 1-2. He always just wants to look for that pass back. Dwight McNeil, I think, is... I don't want to go too far here because we have just won. I'm on a bit of a high, so I don't want to I don't hype him up too much. But last couple of games, last 2-3 games, Dwight McNeil, his performances have gone from a 5 and a 6 to an 8 and a 9. He's been absolutely fantastic. Dave Thompson in the comments saying Dwight played brilliant again, especially when he let the ball go out for the corner. I love that myself, seeing that. Really, really happy with Dwight McNeil. He showed the vision to play in Dominic Calvert-Lewin for that 1-1, which led on to the Decore goal. And again, he's all over the park. Fantastic. Moving on to the striker, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic, what can we say? Back in the team after, midweek, put a good shift in. Missed the game against Notts Forest, of course, with an injury. And then here we go. He's up front again. I had a sneaky suspicion that Beto was going to start today. Obviously, Beto came on and scored against Newcastle. I didn't think Sean Dyche was going to risk Dominic Calvert-Lewin again. 2 games in short succession. Really tough game against Newcastle. Lots of running. It was going to be another big effort from Calvert-Lewin today, playing up front. He's going to have to press that Chelsea back line. But you know what? He's done fantastically well. And he played the majority of the game. Did Beto come on with like 70 minutes-ish, somewhere around there? Let's just have a look, see if I made a note on that one. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. 66 minutes it was. Dominic Calvert-Lewin off, Beto on. I could see Calvert-Lewin getting tired today around the hour mark, so I'm happy he came off. And do you know what? Whenever that ball goes through, especially in the second half, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is then opening up his legs and trying to get on the end of it, I'm just thinking, oh no, please don't pull a hammy, because that's what I'm thinking all the time when he's running. But you know what? Fair play to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He worked hard again. He should have scored. That one-on-one, he goes right through with Sanchez, the goalkeeper. He just needs to slot that, but he just doesn't. I don't know what happened. Maybe the keeper made a good save. I think as a Premier League player, you need to be scoring them. You're one-on-one with the keeper. That's your bread and butter. He didn't. Luckily, we were able to score from the rebound. I know Dominic will be disappointed because he loves scoring goals, and he's not scored as many goals recently as he would have liked, and maybe as he would have expected. But I think as Everton fans, we just need to rally behind Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's putting in a fantastic effort for the team. Against Newcastle, he made that fantastic diagonal run, drew the defender away for then Dwight McNeil to go on and score to make it 1-0 against Newcastle. So he is working hard for the team. He's just not probably getting his individual rewards. He came off on 66 minutes. But you know what? Fantastic once again. Beto come on, he worked hard, he goes up, he's unorthodox, we know this, he just runs around like a headless chicken sometimes, he looks like a headless chicken when he runs, his legs are flying about everywhere, but he was committed once again, and he worked hard, and he was battling, and with a bit more luck, you never know, he could have got on an end of one of them crosses a little bit better and got himself a goal, but he worked hard for the team today, and that's all you really want as an Everton striker. If you're not scoring goals, you want the next best thing for us, Evertonians, is to work hard. Work hard for the team. Peter Duggan saying, not being funny, mate, but when was last time Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored a 1-versus-1? It's not something he's very good at, to be honest. Fair play, maybe not, but I have seen him score one-on-ones, and as a striker, that should be your bread and butter, in my opinion. What I want everyone to do right now, hit the like button and follow me on social media. You'll find me on Twitter or X or whatever it's called. I'm on Instagram as well, @RestrictedEFC. Please do give me a follow. And also follow Everton. Hit that like button and the subscribe bell as well. In general terms, the match, I think the atmosphere looked fantastic. I wasn't at the game myself, but I watched it. The atmosphere was fantastic. It looked electric. The fans back in the team once again at Goodison Park, like they always do. Chelsea had moments of possession and threat in the game, but what we really did well was defend well, stay structured, stay composed, and we just saw the game out. You know, it was 1-0 after 60 minutes. I'm thinking at that point, oh no, what is going to happen in this final 30 minutes? I was biting my nails. I was, dreading trying to cling on to a 1-0. And maybe in the past we would have just tried to cling on, but it feels like the mentality now is to go and try and score another goal and let's finish the game off. And we managed to do that in injury time. Lewis Dobbin coming on for Jack Harrison and scoring a fantastic goal from outside the box to make it 2-0. You know what? We're 17th in the league now. We're on 13 points and we've won 4 of our last 5. The form's even better than that when you go back. There's Mr. Blue Sky saying in the comments, 9 wins out of 13. What a fantastic run this is under Sean Dyche. Since probably start of October, that's when the results really started to come in, and we started to play well. Beginning of October, we beat Bournemouth 3-0. Lost to Derby, got a man sent off, but then we went away to West Ham, beat them 1-0, won in the cup against Burnley 3-0. Should have beat Brighton at Goodison. It was 1-1 in the end, but it was due to that deflected own goal from Ashley Young, but really should have beat Brighton. But 1-1 there, got a point at home, went away again, beat Crystal Palace. Massive disappointment against Manchester United. We know that again at home, but again, bounced back, didn't feel sorry for ourselves, went away, beat Notts Forest 1-0. Coming back to Goodison, back-to-back wins, 3-0 against Newcastle, 2-0 against Chelsea. Now not just making it 3 back-to-back wins, back-to-back, but also 3 clean sheets on the bounce. The past 3 games were scored 6 goals and conceded 0. What a fantastic run this is for Everton. And we look at our fixtures as well. We'll be back here to follow Everton for a preview of the next game. I'm sure we will. But next Saturday, we've got Burnley away. Don't tell me that's not a game we can go and win. Of course we can go and win that. Looking at this weekend's results, Burnley, they were perhaps on for a win. They look like they went up early doors against Brighton. But they're not convincing. They've won 2 Premier League games this season. We can go to Burnley and get another 3 points and push us even higher up the table. And you know what? If it turns around the end and we get points back off the independent commission during our appeal, if we manage to get some points back from the initial 10-point deduction, we're going to shoot up the league because we're not that far away from the teams above us. So another 3 points this next weekend is just going to add to our form. It's going to add to our momentum. And then we've got a quarter-final at home against Fulham. Now, Fulham, I don't know what's going on with Fulham. Absolutely smashing the last couple of games. They played really well. Iwobi's actually scored a couple of goals as well. But they beat West Ham today 5-0. Don't know what is going on with Fulham, how they've turned it around. But fair play to them. But that's going to be some game now. The quarter-final under the lights of Goodison Park, Tuesday the 19th of December. And then over the Christmas period, it's going to be a difficult Christmas period. We go away to Spurs before Christmas. We've got Man City at home. Just before New Year, we've then got go away to Wolves before the FA Cup at the beginning of January, away to Crystal Palace. So it's going to be a really difficult Christmas period. But you know what? Considering that we've just gone away and we've beat Notts Forest away, we've turned over Newcastle, we've turned over Chelsea, then why can't we go away to Burnley and win? Why can't we go away to Spurs and win? Spurs who are just all over the place and you don't know what Spurs you're going to get sometimes. But why can't we just go away and win there? We should be looking now top half of the table. We would be top half of the table if we didn't get the 10-point deduction. So let's just go on. Let's just go on. And you know what? Let's enjoy our Sunday afternoon because we don't get too many of these. Well, we have lately, but we normally don't get too many of these. A fantastic win at Goodison Park. And the Evertonians are dreaming. What are we dreaming of? Well, I'm not too sure, Amanda Stevens, if we're dreaming of Europe. You may be. I think that's maybe a bit of a stretch. But you never know, do you? I mean, can we make an FA Cup run this year? I'd love an FA Cup run. You know, we're through to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. What's to say we don't get to a semi-final or a final this year? We're in the right form to do that. And it'd be... the Everton fans just deserve a bit of success. We do, don't we? Let's go to some of the comments and see what everyone is saying. Eugene saying, I think Everton will win their appeal against the Premier League. Well, we've had many shows about Everton's appeal. We're probably going to have some more going forward. Just the reaction, the appeal going forward, the result of the appeal. We don't know when it's going to be heard yet. We don't know what the what independent commission are going to, what selection committee they're going to put together, and what panel it will be. There's a whole load of things. We definitely haven't heard the last of the 10-point deduction. The Evertonians at Goodison Park and every Evertonian around the world are making sure the Premier League do not forget about the Premier League, about that deduction and how unjust it was and disproportionate. Fantastic Everton support once again today. Mr. Blue Sky saying, if we get 4 or 5 points back, we'll fly up that table. We absolutely will. And let's just say we get 5 points back and we go to 50 and we get 5 points on our total, 18. We then go up to 15th, but we're only a win away again from the top half. If we get 10 points back and we get a suspended sentence, for example, we're going to fly into the top half of the league, and a relegation battle will be almost like a nightmare, and it'll be gone out of our memories. William Holden saying the appeal will be done by the March 20th, he said. To be honest, I've heard New Year, February, March. That's when I think we'll probably get the date for the hearing. And then, of course, by that point, we could be virtually safe by that point anyway. But it will still... We still have to go in there with making sure we get justice and a fair sentence and a fair hearing as well. And it's not just the Premier League's say-so or made-up rules. We've got some scores here from Mr. Blue Skies. He's given Decore a 9. Beto coming off getting a 7. Dobbin a 7.5 off the bench. Tarky an 8.5. Branthwaite 9. Mikolenko 9. Garner 7. Howson 7. Not too bad scores. Wouldn't disagree with you. I thought Young 6.5 is probably a bit generous. I'd probably give him a 5. 5.5 maybe being best. I thought he looked very suspect against Mudryk, and I was fearing the worst there for quite some time. What I want everyone to do, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Thank you for joining me today on this Follow Everton recap special of Everton's fantastic 2-0 win at Goodison Park, winning back-to-back games, back-to-back at Goodison Park. And then we go into the weekend against Burnley, full of energy. And you know what? We're going to win again because we're Everton. So, come on, you Blues. Up the Toffees. Thank you very much. Follow me at RestrictedDFC. Follow Everton. Give us a like. And I'm going to see you next time. I'm going to go now and watch the match. There's a match on at R4, isn't he? What's the game? It's Newcastle and Spurs. Yeah, Newcastle and Spurs. It's kicked off already, I think. I'm going to go and watch that. 11 minutes in. Nice one, everyone. Thanks very much for watching. Stick around, subscribe, and hit the notification bell when we to hear when we go live again. I'll see you next time.